Hey there, everybody. How we doing today? Personally, I'm doing. That's such a fucking stupid intro. Anyways, I know that I said last episode that I wasn't going to work in here a little bit, but I did do some off-camera work on here, mostly just adding the paths and stuff like that, and some of the archer slits for the towers, basically just like these, you know, and this down here and stuff like that, you know, just to make them actually practical. I actually didn't finish this one, so you know what, don't look at that. Don't look at that. I haven't touched anything in here. Actually, I never even showed you guys in here, so it doesn't matter. This is actually new. I didn't make this last episode, and you guys never saw it, so you know, don't worry about it. It's just nothing in here because I don't know anything. I don't know what to put in here. If you guys have any ideas to help me out, I know this is a very historical castle kind of thing, so obviously I probably should add some stuff that is historical, but at the same time, it's Minecraft. I probably shouldn't add some historical stuff in there all the time, but down here and stuff like that, you know, it's probably like, you know, where guards sleep and stuff like that. Very basic stuff. But what I want to build really quickly, well, actually I want to fix up there really quickly too, but down here I kind of wanted to build a little war room. Obviously there's no wars because it's just me, unless I'm having a war with myself. That's called schizophrenia. That's a problem. You should go to somebody to help that. What I want to have in here is basically, you know, big old plain wall. So I know what I have in my brain. Sometimes I forget. Sometimes I'm a little Zoomer ADHD fucking TikTok skibbity riz brained. So I forget what I'm doing sometimes, and I'm sitting there and I'm pondering what I'm doing for like at least 10 seconds before I remember, if not longer. And it'll give us some progress. It can be like, okay, we got this done, we got that done. It'll also let you, the audience, if you're even watching, because for whatever reason the Helldivers video is doing better. Shout out to the people who like that video. Also shout out to the people who came over here from the Minecraft Reddits that I posted this castle on. Shout outs to you. I love you. Consensually. And romantically. So, I think that's where we're going to go ahead and work in here. Real quick. It's going to be like the only thing we work on on this episode. On camera. In here. Because I promised I wasn't going to work in the castle. I also made a sugarcane farm. It's kind of slow. It's okay though. I need me some lanterns. I forgot to grab my lanterns. I'm going to fucking shoot myself with a gun. Down with the sadness. You guys want to hear my parody album, Disturbed? I'm gonna have to suck it up. That'd be such a funny idea though. I've had this running bit in my head the only bit that stayed in my head this entire time is that I want to build a little theater or something like that, a little opera show or something. And the entire joke of it was that I would just I would rock I just start like the next episode afterward, I just start singing a Minecraft parody like immediately. And that, to me, that's pretty funny. Okay, so this is a little map room that I've made, and this is where I'm gonna be putting the maps when I get to it. It's gonna probably be off camera. I don't think I'm gonna do it right now, but right here is our little planning board. And though I've already done this before, for whatever reason, when I was recording this the first time, I sounded like some kind of ASMR YouTuber, and that's not the intention of this series. Probably play a little bit of it because I feel like somebody might be into it. This is our little map room that I made. Hooray, map room. I'm gonna put the maps down in here when I feel bothered enough to go do it. It'd probably be off camera because that's kind of boring, especially because I don't have an Elytra. So like, hopefully not in that way. If they are, I'm sorry. for you. A couple concepts that came in my head because I can speak like in that kind of way. I don't know. I don't know if I will commit to them or not. But this is our little planning wall right here. So what are you gonna call this? We call it planning wall. I sure hope it is. So we have important things, and then we have build ideas. So something we really need right now is a food source, because I don't have one. I got some bread when I went exploring. I grabbed from a bunch of villages. Like, that's what I've been living off of, in potatoes. So we desperately need an actual farm for a food source. I don't know which kind of farm you want to do, but I just going to tie in line with number 2, which is going to be animals, because I need leather and I need wool. Both of those are pretty crucial. Third one is definitely nether portal placement. So like where I have the nether portal right now is kind of like shooting off to the side of my mine, which I'm also going to move, which is also number 4. So the nether portal I need to move because it's just in the middle of, you know, an open field and kind of looks kind of weird. And then for the mine, it's because one, I watched I don't remember the guy's name off the top of my head, but I watched this guy debate last night, and he was talking about how you should maybe like start decorating your mine and stuff like that. And since I already play modern Minecraft like some fucking insane mentally deranged beta player, as I just walk around very slowly and do all my normal stuff, that I should probably keep that in mind. Not to mention, I've already explored basically all of the caves underneath me, so I probably want to move it so I don't have to walk as far in different directions underground. Everyone is, I found a dungeon that's also right down there, so I want to see if I want to get a skeleton farm because of that. So these are like these. Why is that number 6? I can't count. So these are 5 things that I really need to work on. And then right here is going to be my build ideas. So I've already talked about a couple of them before. You know, like on the other side of the valley, I've always kind of wanted to build something kind of Mount Rushmore adjacent. So Mount Rushmore build. And I had something that appeared in my brain literally last night, which wasn't in the original recording of me doing this, but a minecart track to the upper side of the valley. And then I think I had, what else did I have on there? Oh yeah. And another thing, which is going to be probably in a different area and probably be pretty far out from now, depending on how burnt out I get from working over here. But recreating my childhood city I built. So when I was a kid, I had a Minecraft world that was in creative. It was my creative world, and I was building a city in it, you know, and I had a couple skyscrapers, I had a couple residential, I had a power plant. You know, I remember a good portion of it, and I feel like after playing Minecraft for more than 10 years at this point, I've never recreated that world, nor a couple of the other survival worlds that I had, or that I had that was a little older, or even some of the townie servers that I was in. I probably won't do that because that I can barely remember. I remember that first creative world and like my first survival world, kind of. Definitely my creative world I remember more, hence why I think we're gonna do that one instead. And then on here I want to do in just a big old Minecraft logo somewhere, probably at the very end of the basin or the valley, because the valley just kind of taper off and it kind of splits into, it kind of rounds out after a certain point, and I feel like having a big old Minecraft sign at basically around the end of that would probably look pretty decent, because what happens, like you will spawn in at spawn, and then you should be able to see the Minecraft logo, but it's pretty far away. You'll be able to see it behind like the castle and all the other stuff I'm gonna build around this general vicinity. I feel like that would look pretty cool. And then these two, I'll just leave blank for right now because I can't think of anything else. So this is the plans. And I think for today's episode, because I said I wasn't gonna work on the castle, remember? I've done some off-camera work on it though, because I'm still not really that burnt out of it. I just know you guys probably are, because it's been like fucking 6 episodes. But I think today we're gonna focus on probably at least these first 2, food source and animals. Maybe even do the Never portal and moving the mine, but definitely these first 2. You can see what I'm talking about, where the Never portal is just sitting out there doing nothing. But see what, you know, because like what I was thinking was like a Minecraft chat could be really cool. I just don't know where I should. Well, at least now you know I never sleep in this world. So I probably do want to build or something from this angle, because honestly, the castle does look kind of cool. Okay. Well, after doing that, this is probably another thing. I probably should fucking plug up this giant hole. Because... but that might be the first time I've died to falling into that cave. It probably won't be the last. But yeah, I was thinking... like a bridge right here. And then... maybe some farms out over here? I don't... or like animals? I don't really know. I do know is I want to clear this out. I cleared most of it out when I was getting all the trees out to build this. But I need to clear the rest of these trees out, and I need to flatten this a little bit, or figure out a way I want to get this path to down here. And then, like I said, either build a bridge over there, or have a bridge go like that to that. Actually, that could work too. Something like this. Also kind of make more sense because, you know, as you could tell, when I die, it spawns over there. So it'd make more sense for me to have the bridge go from here, actually. Or another bridge, at least. It doesn't... it could have 2 bridges, you know. So I could have one bridge go from here. Either go up there, and then that one over there. And then a minecart track or something. But yeah, I think what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to start by clearing out a lot of these trees. And we will go from there. Okay, so I've gotten the pathway done. It's a little rough. I don't know. I mean, it's okay. I don't... It's gonna probably change because I'm still not 100% happy with it. But this right here is where we're gonna get the bridge. So we're gonna go ahead and build that, and then clear out that forest. Okay, so this is the bridge. It's very basic. It was kind of a pain in the ass to make because I kept on getting harassed by drowned. There's like a million of them. I got to the point where I have like 2 tridents now from how many drown were just attacking me like constantly. You know, it's a bridge. Like definitely I need to reconsider how I was doing these paths over here, and you know, those light posts and stuff like that. They don't look great, but I think that's going to be an off-camera thing or a next episode thing, because now we're just going to ignore the fact that this is here, and then we're going to clear this out right now. Hey, look, I've cleared it all out now. Now I just gotta flatten it and get rid of this podstool over here. Well, if I decided to cut it out when I was cutting down trees, I was talking about why I use Animal Crossing music, because it's not for the reason you think it is, where it's just because everybody else uses it and it's popular and stuff like that. Because I know pretty certainly that most of the people who you hear that play in the original Animal Crossing music probably never played it before. The reason why I use Animal Crossing music a lot is because it's something that I grew up with. It was like one of, if not the first games I ever played as a child. Like, I'm talking like, I don't remember exactly how old I was. I know I was in elementary school. I don't remember what grade I was in just yet, because my memory's a little faulty. I definitely might have some memory issues from something, either because I've gotten hit in the head like twice at this point, or from excessive drug use when I was in high school. It wasn't like excessive. It was just moderately high amount. But I don't know which one it is, or it's just because I just literally just don't remember anything usually. Or just have bad memory. It has to have been like first or kindergarten. Like first grade or kindergarten, which means I was either like 5 or like between 5 and 7. And it definitely puts it up there in one of the first games I've ever actually played. Like, it's up there with that Lego Racers. It was one of the first games I ever played. It was even before Minecraft, and I know that for a fact. And I have definitely some memories kind of with it. If anything, I just kind of remember the vibe. I more remember the vibe than the actual things that were going on in the game. I have to take off my boots here soon so I can put in the museum. First set of diamond armor. So I keep on getting fucking... You see what I'm talking about? Where these drown? I might have to go down here and like fucking figure out why they're spawning down here so much. Because they just appear constantly. In like the most annoying way possible too. Let's just go ahead and like return all this dirt real quick. I keep on getting distracted. Oh my goodness. But it's okay, because we're gonna go back inside. We'll go in the castle. We'll stand still and we'll talk for a second. And I have a decent amount of memories with it. I mean, I remember, like I said, I mostly remember the time around me playing the game, not really the game in question. You know, there's a little bits that I remember. I remember, you know, having to deal with Mr. Rossetti for the first time as a little child, which honestly I never, like, you know, I thought he was a little intimidating, but at the same time, I guess it's probably just because I was so used to having people around me yell at each other a lot when I was a kid. It didn't really he didn't really scare me or anything like that. He just pissed me off. Really? Here, let's go. Let's go like right in here. We'll just like look out here like this for a second. Like, he pissed me off. I don't remember ever being scared by him. But like I said, my memory's not great. But I'm pretty certain that I was never scared of him. If anything, I found him more annoying even as a kid. I remember I did that because I got stung by a wasp in game and I didn't know how to prevent myself from getting stung by a wasp. And I thought it was going to be really bad for me to get stung by a wasp. So I just restarted. I restarted the game to go back to before I got stung by a wasp. And then I dealt with him. I don't really remember that the town that I had as a kid, like at all. I remember we had one villager, Pecan. I remember Pecan was in it. I don't remember anybody else who was in it. I think it was Pecan. I want to say it was one of the 8 villagers. I want to say it was, I don't remember his name. I can see him in my head, but I don't remember his name. Was in there too. I can't remember anybody else though. But like I said, the memories around Animal Crossing to me are a lot more outside of the game. A lot more me being like excited to play the game when I get home from school. Or one memory I really remember, which is, I guess, more associated with my mom than Animal Crossing, where, you know, on our way back from home, from school, she'd come pick me up from elementary. I think this is during the time my sister was in elementary still, too. I think. Was she in elementary still? Oh, the sun's coming up. Let me go back over there and keep on digging. I'll keep on talking though. I would. Yeah. I have an older sister. That's all. I was trying to see if I can associate. If I remember when she was in elementary school and I was in elementary school at the same time, then that helps me narrow it down because we're 4 years apart. So our mom, sometimes our dad, if our dad ever picked us up from our school, which he usually never did because he usually was at work. But sometimes when he was off, because he was a general contractor, he just kind of, if he wanted to be off, he was off kind of thing. But sometimes we'd go to Sonic because it was on the way back from school, because is where I used to live as a kid. They moved the school right before I was old enough to go to school. They moved it to the other side of town in a spot that wasn't developed at that point. Obviously now that I've gone back there, it definitely is developed, and there's a whole middle-class neighborhood over there. But when I was a kid, it was just the school and then a bunch of open field, because it's in the middle of Texas. So one of the quickest ways to get back to where we lived, which was on the other side of town, was to basically turn around and go the other way to kind of loop back around, if I remember correctly. And the best way to do that was to go right by a Sonic. And that was like the only thing that was in that general vicinity was a Sonic. I think that Sonic's still there, still. If it is, when I went back over there for my older sister's wedding, I never went to go visit it, if it is still there. I think it is. I remember my older sister, not my older sister, but my older sister, she was talking about it. Still, like, it's still there. We just never went to it. But we'd go to Sonic. You know, I would get a nice Powerade slushie, or maybe a grape slushie sometimes if I felt daring. Because I liked both of those. I still like grape. I still like Powerade. I just don't drink either of them that much. Like, you know, fake grape flavored stuff, I still like it. I just don't drink it all that often anymore. We would go there, do that Sonic, grab a drink, would come back home. And then something I would always do, I remember it would be me playing Animal Crossing in me and my older sister's room. And because she, by this point, we have a Wii. I remember that, and she would play City Folk, but I would still play the original one because I wanted to have my own, world and town where I didn't have to deal with like what she wanted to do in the town. I could do whatever the hell I want. If I wanted to have kind of, I guess it doesn't really matter that much. I just didn't want to play on the same save as her, because if I remember correctly, a lot of the stuff like the fossils and stuff like that was like a 1 a day per thing per town. So like you'd only have 5 fossils in the town every day for all 4 characters you could have in both City Folk and in the original game. So it just kind of made sense for one of us to play the original one and one of us to play the new one. And I never really cared for stuff on the Wii as much as a kid because I was left-handed. I think I've talked about that before, but I am a lefty, and for a long while there, I just, unless it was Wii Sports, because Wii Sports actually had a lefty mode, I couldn't play most stuff, or I had trouble figuring it out because I was like that badly left-handed where my brain just didn't connect 2 and 2 together that I could just switch it to my right hand or do anything like that. I have a lot of memories of me playing Animal Crossing. I just don't remember what's happening on the screen because I remember me drinking a nice Powerade or a Grapes Slushy while, that's going on while I am playing Animal Crossing. But yeah, I have a lot of memories of me just of not really the game itself, but of the environment around it, which is honestly pretty common for my brain. I don't remember a lot of the stuff I ever did in my childhood home. Like video games I played in there. I more remember the vibe of the childhood home rather than the game or whatever else I was doing in it. Like I have a couple other memories that are in the same boat but with different games. Like I remember it was my birthday, 2010, 2011. It was definitely a Wii game I was playing, but I don't remember the Wii game. I think it was probably one of the Lego games, probably either Indiana Jones or Lego Star Wars. I remember days when, weekends and stuff like that, where I'd get up a little early. I mean, a little early for me as a kid was like 5. Because the Texas education system was kind of shit back then and expected you to wake up your children at like 6 in the morning to go to school, if not a little earlier. I think my school time back then was like 6:30. Like, school started at 6:30. But I would wake up on a weekend a little, maybe either a little earlier, a little later. Me and my dad, if he decided to work that day, he'd go grab donut, or he didn't feel like working that day, he'd go grab donuts for us in the morning. And usually I'd be awake, but my sister wouldn't be awake, or my mom wouldn't be awake at that point yet. So it'd be me and him, we'd go grab some donuts, then, we'd go home, would eat the donuts, and then I'd sit down in me and my sister's room, and I'd play Animal Crossing on our CRT that we'd have in there. Like that's more of how I remember a lot of all the games I used to play as a kid, is in that kind of way. I remember them from the environment around the game rather than the game itself. Same thing applies with Roller Coaster Tycoon too. I remember me playing that early in the morning. Like I have a memory for that, where it is early in the morning, and I think it was my dad too. I think my dad made what we call a spicy meat, which it's extremely Tex-Mex. It's just ground beef and a lot of spices, and is relatively speaking spicy, and some salsas. It's borderline white Mexican, or white person Mexican, but to me it's like what I'm used to, and the stuff that he and his father used to eat, and they're all full Mexican too, so that's why I like to consider it more in a Tex-Mex area. Yeah, I feel like definitely from this angle, it does look pretty cool. And then we have another bridge like right there, or right here. It's going to be a diagonal one, so that would be different and a little harder. I don't really build in diagonals in this game, as you could probably tell. I don't really do diagonals, but I feel like I might do a diagonal right there for a challenge. But then, so that means over here we'll have the bridge right there. This would probably be the pathway. I could probably put a field right in this spot right here, and another one like right there. And then I do want some kind of animal coop husbandry thing over here too. I don't know if I'm gonna do all 3 of them, or if I'm just gonna do one of them or not. I know I definitely need sheep and stuff like that, and also I need to redo this path because I don't like it. And I'm usually curving myself. I'm usually walking more like this instead of, so I need to make this a diagonal as well. Alrighty, so I've got all this flattened out. You know, terraform this part right here to my best of ability. I'm not great at terraforming, so we're gonna go ahead and I guess mark stuff out where I want it to be. So it has been like, I think 3 or 4 days since I've been on this world. I've been a little distracted. If you couldn't tell by the fact that I accidentally uploaded them, it's okay, it wasn't an accident. But I did happen to upload the Helldivers video before this one. If you ever read the description, this one intended to come out before the Helldivers video, and it never did. But today, I got myself some coffee. I want to play Minecraft. So we're just gonna get going on it, and we're gonna lay out some of the plans. This is the last digital note that I ever made before I switched to physical notes in my little journal right here. I'm still drinking coffee. Hold on, sorry. You can maybe hear it, but I have a little, what's the dimensions of it? 4x6 notebook that I've been writing in, which, you know, kind of just so I can write stuff down when I'm at work, because I'll just forget most of the time. And I've actually written down multiple different ideas, so hopefully you'll see those coming out here soon, because right now I'm also on a vacation from my godforsaken job. I didn't mean to hit my microphone, I'm sorry. So I'm planning this out because I just don't want I don't want to soil it. I don't want to fuck it up. But I just want to make sure that I know what I'm doing over here, because over here is kind of weird because it's a big flat chunk of land, which is not normal for me and what I've been working on here recently. So, but on this little physical plan, you can very obviously tell I wrote it, you know, I drew it on my phone, you know, which without a stylus. The little blue squares where I want to have the actual farms. Obviously, the big purple square that has the letters cow on it. I want it to be, you know, for cows. And then the little black box that has the S on it. I want that to be a sheep farm. I don't know. I was like thinking maybe I should have it be automatic and then have a little building for it. And then the yellow building over here would be an apiary. Like usually when I'm building farms, I kind of do like those aesthetic ones that are like not practical at all. And I kind of don't want to do that. I actually kind of want to have more redstone-y. Honestly, that's probably all I needed to lay out, was just the path. Which I need to figure out how I want to redesign the path, because like I said, I don't like the path over there either. So me doing it over here will be the good, you know, foundations of how I'm gonna have it laid out over there too. Probably something that will fit better with the bridge, because I think that problem is that the bridge is kind of, it's old looking, but like in a good way, in my opinion. you know, to me, I look at this bridge and I'm like, this is something that you could have built in beta, and then, you know, somebody's also modernized it a little bit, which is kind of like my whole build style here recently. I used to really be one of those people who would be like hyper realistic detail shit for as, you know, as you can kind of tell from up there. I mean, I still was using gradients and stuff like that up there, but even as people on the Reddit, you know, shout out to you guys for once in your life, where it looks a little classic. But that's just because I guess it's my build style now, and I have to commit to it. And over here, I need to get rid of this sand. I need to switch it out back to dirt. I never did that on this side when I was doing the little flashback, so I need to do that. And then I would like somewhere where I can put down like a little fishing spot too. I feel like a fishing spot over here would be nice, just so I have like basically all of my stuff over here. So I have, you know, because another idea that I wrote down was that I can actually talk about, have more focus on a talking conversation between like you and the viewer, you know, if fully parasocial, just like listen to me talk about my nostalgia or something like that while I fish in Minecraft. Or, you know, I could switch to fishing in like Animal Crossing halfway through as a joke or something weird like that. I don't know, I haven't gotten that far in that thought process. I have it written down on my little notebook. That's kind of video essay, and I've never really tried a video essay. I don't take myself so seriously, and I think that probably will be the hindrance of myself. So yeah, I guess we're gonna go ahead and I work on the farms, unless I can think of a good idea for the path like right now, after I finish my cup of coffee that I'm currently drinking, which is the same reason why I'm standing here and just talking to you. I don't need that many hoes. Said nobody. You know what I'm gonna build? I'm gonna build those classic semi-automated farms. You know, you see a lot of it in the old times. I'm too lazy to go get villagers to make it fully automatic. Not to mention that just makes it not fun. And I don't want to have to go through and manually harvest everything. So that's the only option we have. Okay, let's see if I remember how to do this. I also need to remember that I want to have this probably 5 blocks. So we'll do 7 just to be safe. I think I remember the dimensions of this. It's been a long time since I've built this exact kind of farm, so you might be able to tell. So I'm gonna build it out of dirt first. Okay, let's see if I remember. Do I remember? God only knows. Hey, I remember the exact dimensions of it again. I'm honestly surprised I remember the exact dimensions of this exact kind of thing. It's been that long. You know, like that one Five Nights at Freddy's song. I am gonna move it. I'm gonna move it back probably. But yeah, it's been a little busy for me here recently. I'm currently in the process of truly learning how to drive, which is kind of terrifying because I had to pay for a course for it because I had nobody else to show me how to drive. It's a little scary, honestly. Just because the guy who was teaching me just kind of threw me out in the road. And it's like, here, you'll figure it out. Like, holy shit, dude! I paid you like $500 to teach me how to drive, and you're just throwing me out here like something throw me out to the dogs. I really feel like you can make this more efficient. Hold on a second. I'm gonna move this back just like 2 or 3 blocks because I feel like I can make this more efficient. I can have it actually right there. Okay. Yeah. See? So you can actually switch this out for that. Okay. But yeah, you know, unfortunately, I do not live in Europe where I can just walk to like most of the stuff I need to do. So I'm basically required to have a car, which is kind of sucky, especially because I have astigmatism, and if you don't know what that means, that means when I space out, my eyeballs go, especially for me at least. Sometimes it depends on the person, but for me, my eyeballs just start like going crazy, which is a little scary when it starts happening when you're driving. Obviously, at some point, I'm bound to get used to it, but until then, it's gonna be a little hard for me. It's gonna be a little scary for me. But you know, for only doing the first day, the guy was like, "Wow, you're actually pretty decent for only just now starting to drive, and I was like, thanks, dude. No, you know, I think this is probably enough. That's like a holy shit. That's a lot of. That's gonna be a lot of farm. But I'm also gonna separate it into segments so I can have wheat, potato, carrot, beet, root, question mark. I might have beetroot. I don't know if I will. Then I can have. Ooh, then that'll work, and I can have my little fishing area like right here. Okay, see, it's working out. It's coming up. But I need to learn how to drive anyways, because I don't want to live where I currently live for really any longer. Right? This place, you know what? Who cares? If you figure out who I am and you know where I live, just don't come say hi. That's kind of weird. I live in Tallahassee, and if you like me, who moved here after I graduated from high school and have decided to not go to college, there is nothing to do. Like, yeah, I can go with some of my work buddies who are all college days, and, you know, the same age group as me because we all work at the same fucking Walmart. Man, it is just horrible here. It's just depressing about 90% of the time. I mean, yeah, you know, it looks pretty if you know, don't look at the inner city rot that was caused in the inner cities because of redlining and white flight during the 1960s. Yeah, it looks pretty. It is not a very fun place to live. Not to mention, it's, you know, it's pretty in its own way, but at the same time, when I lived in South Florida, it wasn't even South Florida, it was like Central Florida, it was Tampa. When I lived in Tampa, as long as you got outside of the greater Tampa area, you know, into like the fucking boonies, it was pretty most of the time, which, I mean, the place I'm gonna probably move to, which is my hometown, which is where I grew up in Texas. I'll just say what that is. It's Victoria. I mean, who cares? I mean, Victoria definitely doesn't look any good. It does not look. Honestly, looks pretty bad too. But at the same time, I feel like the only reason why I want to move back there is not only because, one, you know, my opportunities are there in Texas. You know, there's barely any trade jobs here, good trade jobs, because that's what I want to get into. I want to try a trade because, I mean, I like building in Minecraft. You know, I helped my dad do construction when I was a little kid. Obviously, help do construction as a little kid means I didn't really do that much. I kind of just stood there, maybe helped paint a little bit. But even then, last time I visited him, when I was at my older sister's wedding, or I was down there over there for my older sister's wedding, we went back to Victoria. I ended up helping him re-mud and refix his my aunt's house because she's in a wheelchair. And whenever they got this new house, the house didn't have a good wheelchair accessible entrance to the master bedroom. So, because it was weird, the floor plan for it was weird because it was, the entrance to the master bedroom was just like a little corner hallway kind of thing in the inside and also on the outside. So we have to, you know, move the door somewhere else. So I ended up helping him patch the hole from the original door, you know, and I've helped my work, even though I probably shouldn't. You know, I should probably be like, yeah, you gotta pay me at least $7 more per hour for me to fix this, for fixing their stuff. I mean, I helped mount a TV a while back, and I helped repaint some of the main areas in our back room. I've never really enjoyed the classroom experience throughout my life. I always did decent in school, but I did not like it at all the entire time. Yeah, this looks good. I just need to figure out. I swear to God, I used to be able to use one water source block. Okay, that means I need to kill some spiders or go find an abandoned mine shaft for more string, because I sure as hell don't have enough dispensers. 5 more bows. That's 5 more dispensers. Do I even know where? I do know where an abandoned mine shaft is. I guess I'm gonna go over there to that mine shaft real quick, and I'm gonna go grab me some more string. Okay, I'm back if I decided to cut that out. There's a big old, there's an abandoned mine shaft down in that big old cave. I don't think I've ever shown it on camera. Obviously, I recorded it. I stopped talking. I wasn't talking about stuff while I was doing it, really. Okay, let's see how many bows me can make. 16. A lot of bows. Okay, let me zone this out how I want to have this, because I probably want to have I mean, carrots are good, but I don't need as many of them because, well, until I get golden carrots, you know, which I need gold for, which I don't think I'm ever gonna build a gold farm on this world, so probably won't have that much gold. So I'll probably have that be the smallest area, and then potatoes and wheat probably be about the same. So let me go ahead and figure that out. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's 48 blocks across. Alright, well, you figured out the design for the first one, so I'm gonna go ahead and just jump cut to the other two being done. The crops are doing well. Irrigation is the future. Well, I think I should turn on my microphone and record that as a bit. That's so fucking stupid. What the fuck is wrong with me? I want to have cows, but I also want to have sheep for wool. And obviously over here I want to have an apiary for some bees, because I've never really tried out bees or anything like that, because I don't really get this far. Like I said, I think I said it earlier, a little earlier this episode. Just, that's like 5 days ago or something like that. But this is like the longest I've played this world for. It's probably the longest I've played Minecraft consistently on one world for like a long while. Some kind of apiary greenhouse kind of thing over here. I guess what I can do is I can have like, it'd be kind of like a rectangle, and then this over here kind of be like the little garden area. So you have a little garden area right here too for the bees to kind of come out and fly around, and then the bridge going across. And I feel like that would look decent. And then I guess right here, I might just build a different kind of building to make it to fit in with the general style. But at the same time, I feel like a sheep head would be cool. I think that depends on how I decorate this over here, and how I feel like I should decorate the general area as well. So I think what I need to do right now is get some dirt over there and that big old sand patch, get me some cows, get them over here, and get the pasture, you know, where the cows set up. I wonder what this will happen. I wonder what's gonna happen when I walk towards this man. Oh, great heavens! Hey, at least I got skeleton horses now. I need to actually, like, grab one and put a saddle on it. Okay, now I got a saddle. And that, let's see. Wow. It's a horse. That's actually pretty decent because I don't have any horses. I'll bring him on in here. I'm gonna hitch him up. And I'll think of a good name for him. Unless somebody leaves something funny here in the comments. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Also, I've been saving this to show you guys. But like, look at this. Ain't that cool? Just kind of shoot some stuff up there. It should fix itself whenever I actually add some, like, you know, decorations to it. But even then, it's not that much I'm losing. I'm only losing like 30-ish potatoes, which, I mean, it's not that many potatoes in the fact how quick this grows. Ooh, it's like the wiring wrong too. Why is it? Okay, so here's the barn. I made it, yeah, obviously made it out of brick. Did some detailing to it. It took me a little bit to get the exact design down. I mean, you've probably seen the outside of it so many times. Let's just go inside. I don't know if I'm gonna include the inside part with the little replay. I don't even know if I'm gonna have the replay in here, but that's besides the point. Skylights, because, you know, I actually did look up some references on the interwebs, and a lot of cattle farms usually have a skylight going down the middle obviously just for lighting because they're not gonna afford, you're not gonna pay money to light stuff. But unfortunately, unlike real life, there are things that come out to the night to bite your toes. Here's the field. I might add some pod stool and stuff like that at some point. I am too lazy right now. I don't feel like it. I guess right now we'll go ahead and get the chicken. Hey, that's convenient. I only had 6 eggs and I got 2 chickens. Pig, sheep, cow. Okay, so I got a pair of every single animal. Here, I got my chickens, sheep down over there, pigs, and then our cows. Okay. So, I think we've done the 2 things I set up. Alright. So, I think we've done the 2 things that I've set out to do this episode. You know, earlier on, you know, like probably like 30 minutes ago at this point. You know, I think I set out, you know, to do what I said back then. But we have agriculture and we have husbandry. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you didn't, well, you've reached the end. So, thank you for your time. Either or. Have a good one.